What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 215. And we start today's episode off with some player training and some bonus player training in today's episode as well, before diving into our first of 3 games today away at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium against Spurs, who right now sit in 4th place. We are 1 point and 1 place behind them in the table right now. But whilst I'm just looking to solidify Champions League football for the foreseeable future at Bramwell Lane, as I've been discussing in the recent episodes, the board this season have asked us to win the treble. So already right now 7 points behind league leaders Manchester City, and coming on the back of 2 goalless draws in our last 3 games, we needed to return to winning ways here in North London. So massive game coming on the back of the goalless draw against Liverpool at Bramwell Lane just before the international break, needing to leapfrog Spurs, go back into the top 4 and keep the pressure on Manchester City. We're in attack mode right from the first minute in this game, and just 14 minutes in we had the early breakthrough. David Turnbull ends our mini goal drought, and I was so happy it was the captain that got the goal as well. And I love the celebration too, right in front of the away fans. And look at this, every single Sheffield United player comes to celebrate with the captain. And why is that? Because he missed the penalty against Liverpool in the last game that would have given us the big 3 points. So Turnbull, talk about an instant response from the leader, doesn't shy away from the responsibility, handles the pressure in the follow-up game and opens the scoring. Love to see that from the captain. So Sheffield United in front very early in this game, and really right from the first whistle it was all Sheffield United. We'll continue to attack, to continue to press and look for more goals. Reece James denied there by very good saves. It was still 1-0. Then in the second half, as Tony finds Harris, lets the ball run across his body for offloading to Pierre Rocher. Down the left is Shaw, he's the dummy runner. Harris takes it around his man, goes for goal, but smacks the crossbar as Tottenham escape. So still leading by 1, but really we could have been 2 or 3 goals up at this point. It was all Sheffield United, and Spurs just did not have an answer until just past the hour mark, a golden chance to make it 1-1. But Todibo, look at that piece of defending there from our centre half as we go in search of our 3rd straight clean sheet in the Premier League. Sticks out a leg as the ball's going behind him and saves what would have been a certain goal. So still Spurs 0, Sheffield United 1. Despite all the chances, our lead was only still by a single goal. I wanted a second to wrap up the points and confirm the victory, and with 6 minutes to go, it's that man once again. And I just love to see this sort of response here. Misses a penalty against Liverpool, takes it upon himself to perform better in the follow-up game, and David Turnbull with a man of the match performance here shows exactly why he's the captain of this team and the leader, because when he's had a bad game he makes amends in the following one. Bogle plays to the edge of the area, and as Harris rolls it off, it's Turnbull arriving late once again as he smacks it in with the left foot. Past the goalkeeper in a flash, it's Spurs 0, Sheffield United 2, and what a response for the Blades as well. Back-to-back goalless draws in our last 2 Premier League games. Turnbull missing a spot kick in the last game, but in this one he turns from 0 to hero, scores both our goals in a big 2-0 victory. So final score in North London, Spurs 0, Sheffield United 2. And in the end, it just came down to who had the better defence and who was more clinical in this game. We stopped Spurs' shots. Pretty much every single shot they had was blocked in this game. Sam didn't really need to make that many saves in it. But at the other end, Turnbull, both our shots on target, found the back of the net courtesy of the skipper. You got to love the clinical finishing when going forward there as we managed to get the 3 points. That's exactly what we needed as well, because of recent, we have been struggling to put the ball in the back of the net. That's been our main concern to start the season off, being quite timid when going forward. You think about it, we've already had 3 goalless draws in the Premier League in 12 games. That's 1 in every 4 matches. That's really poor. You know, for a side that have been asked to win championship this season, that's not going to cut it. You know, 1 goalless draw every 4 games. So really nice to respond there with a big 2-0 victory. But following the game, regardless, it was time for our 5th and penultimate game of the Champions League group stage, as we would welcome the Danes to Bramwell Lane as we would take on FC Midtjylland, who, as we know right now, are rock bottom of the group and dead certs to finish with the wooden spoon. Heading into the game, we knew that 1 more win would guarantee a place in the knockout stages of the Champions League, and even a draw might be enough if Inter Milan and PSG also drew in their game being played at the same time as well. But I wanted to get the job done and not rely on results elsewhere here and make sure we make it through with minimal fuss. But it was a very tough first half. You know, the Danes are going for their first point in the group. They've lost every single game of the group so far. They just wanted to get a point and something to celebrate come the end of 6 games. You might have noticed as well in the early stages, and particularly all throughout the first half really, they had so many men behind the ball. They were set up so defensively, and I just couldn't break them down. Whenever I did, the finishing wasn't the best. 9 minutes after the restart, still deadlocked at 0-0. This should have been the opening goal, but Kapich's ball across the face of the area here went straight into the goalkeeper's gloves as Bells was waiting to tuck it home from 6 yards out. Still 0-0, and with 40 minutes to go, another golden chance here. Harris plays a great ball to Brandon Lewis off the bench, bearing down on goal. Remember last season he was a really good impact sub for us. This year not quite as much. Should have got his first goal of the season there, but smacked it wide as it was still 0-0. And the final chance fell with 2 minutes to go. Brecht Eze offloads to Tyler Allen, finds a bit of space after the Eel flick, but the shot goes just wide of the post as it ripples the side netting and goes behind for a goal kick. And in the end, that was how the game would finish. Final score, Sheffield United 0, FC Midtjylland 0. You see the reaction of our players coming to final whistle too. How we failed to win this game. Well, I was going to say I don't know. I do know. The fact of the matter is the finishing in this game was absolutely atrocious. How different it was from the weekend. On the weekend, we were clinical. In this game, we wasted so many chances. 11 shots, 4 on target, and not a single one found the back of the net. 0-0 the final score. It's actually quite nice to see FC Midtjylland get their first point of the group, even if it does come at our expense. And because PSG and Inter Milan drew 1-1 at the Parc des Princes, it also means that despite drawing that game, we still have guaranteed qualification to the knockout stages and as group winners as well, as PSG are 3 points behind us right now. And due to the head-to-head record, we can't finish lower than them. So we guarantee top spot with a game to spare, even though we do slip up in the penultimate game of the group. And again, it is kind of nice to see FC Midtjylland get a point there as well, because not to sound patronising or anything, but you know, so often in Champions League groups and sometimes in Europa League groups as well, there's always one team that's, you know, considerably far weaker than others in the group. And I remember there was a record, and this one always sticks in my mind quite a lot, of CSKA Moscow's goalkeeper Igor Akinfeev, who is their most capped player. He had a really unwanted record in the Champions League, because CSKA Moscow are always the 4th seed and they get drawn in really tough groups. He had a really unwanted record of going, I think it was about 50 games without a clean sheet consecutively in European matches, and it's never nice to see, you know, a player, an individual or a team struggle constantly, even when they get drawn in European competition. So it's kind of nice that Midtjylland got a point there, even if it did come at our expense. But anyway, we made it through regardless, top of the group, and that's very pleasing to see. And for our third and final game of today's episode, we return to Bramall Lane on the back of 3 goalless draws in our last 5 games in all competitions. We needed a response here at home to Aston Villa after a disappointing goalless draw against the Danes in midweek. Heading to the game, I dropped Elliot Harris, thought I'd start the American Brett Wilson, who opened the scoring for us, and then a few moments later, around the 35-minute mark, Pierre Rocher got another goal to what was being a very impressive start to the season for the Frenchman, as he made it 2-0 after Ollie Shaw played him forward. And in the 45th minute, as we were going searching for a third goal, Ivan Toney denied there as it was still 2-0. We kept the chance alive, one final chance of the half, as Toney receives the ball and smacks it in. He's not going to miss twice. All Reliable makes it 3-0 to Sheffield United, and what a lovely response from the Blades as well. Disappointing game in midweek, only managing a goalless draw against the wooden spoon team in the Champions League group stage, but here at Bramall Lane at home against Aston Villa, looking to make amends in the Premier League, and we were doing that. 3 goals up at half time. In the second half, we kept our foot on the gas pedal as well, didn't conserve energy and just knock the ball around, play possession football. I wanted more goals, and 20 minutes after the restart, we got our 4th. Ivan Toney bags his 2nd goal of the game as we was going in search for his 2nd hat-trick of the season, as he makes it Sheffield United 4, Aston Villa 0. A lovely finish as he's still going in pursuit of his 7th golden boot in 8 seasons in top European competitions. And in the 85th minute here, Barry Walsh so close to making it 5 with the icing on the cake, but 3 minutes later, oh God, it's just never gonna happen, is it? Never gonna happen. Pierre Rocher goes for goal from the free kick, and I swear, man, I'm just gonna say this right now, I so badly want to score at least one free kick before the series ends, but it's not gonna happen. I just can't do it this year. I really can't. If you can believe this, guys, my long-term subs will tell you this. Back in the days of FIFA 11, FIFA 12, FIFA 13 even, I was really lethal from free kicks, I was deadly, but now since the game has changed so much, I can't score them to save my life. Evidently so, with 10 bloody seasons in, I still haven't scored one. Rochet denied by Jed Steer, clawing the free kick off the line. It's never going to happen, but 4-0 the final score. Great to return to winning ways in emphatic fashion as old reliable bags of brace Wilson gets 1-2, and we win the game by 4-0 and say to the new league leaders Chelsea and Manchester City in second place as well. We might have had a struggling start, but we are going nowhere, back in form and keeping the pressure on. But that will end today's episode of Career Mode, guys. So a big thank you for watching. Really hope you have enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy today's episode, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. And I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode featuring some absolutely huge games very soon.